Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavitvaram. Hari Om. Today we will complete our meditation series. So please pay your 100% attention. We will discuss verse number 39. Atmanyevakhilam drishyam pravilapya dhiya sudhihi. Atmanyevakhilam drishyam pravilapya dhiya sudhihi. Bhavayedekam atmanam Bhavayedekam atmanam Nirmal Akashavat Sada Nirmal Akashavat Sada. Together. Atmanyeva khilam drishyam pravilapya dhiya sudhihi. Bhavayet ekam atmanam Nirmal Akashavat Sada. Atmani Saptami locative case. Atmani eva, in the Atman alone. Akhilam, the entire. Drishyam, the world of object which can be perceived or which is perceived. Maybe by the sense organs or mind. Everything is sensed by the mind, but pravilapya, merging, dhiya, by the intellect, sudhihi, wise man, bhavayet, should think, ekam, one, atmanam, the self, nirmala akashavat, like the stainless or pure space, sada, constantly. So the wise one should intelligently merge the entire world of objects in the Atma alone and constantly think of the self as being ever uncontaminated like space. So if we do the prose order of that, Sudhihi Dhiya Akhilam Drishyam Atmani eva prabilapya. Dhiya means Tritiya, third case, instrumental case. By the intellect, through the intellect, with the intellect. So Sudhihi Dhiya Akhilam Drishyam Atmani eva prabilapya. And what we will think? Atmanam sada nirmala akasham ekam bhavayet. So beautiful sloka you just see. So, akhilam drishyam atmani eva pravilap. You should merge the entire perceived world in Atma. In Brahma Sutra, second chapter, first pada, 14th sloka, 2.1.14, which we have discussed earlier in 8th sloka of this Atma Bodha. What is there? Tad ananyatvam arambhana shabdadibhyah. So, starting from everything, we have to do pravilapya, margin. The cause, the effect is different from the cause. It will not work in this analysis thought process. Here, what will be our thought process? That this is, the whole world is vyavartanam. What is vyavartanam? Like the cause and effect are same. Effect is nothing but the cause alone. That should be our thought process. And how it is possible, in entire text we have discussed, we have analyzed. Even in Chandogya Shruti, Chandogya Upanishad 6.14, 1.4, 6.1.4, what is there? Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam mrittika eva satyam. Means, suppose clay pot, clay spoon, clay tumbler, clay dish. So in between, among everything else, the common factor is the clay alone. Or gold necklace, gold earring, gold nose pin, gold bangles, everything. The name and form is different, but the substance is same. So the effect is nothing but the cause. Vacharambhanam vikaranamam dheyam. So what about the names and forms? They are only vacharambhanam. For the transactional sake, for the sake of transaction, we use the name or we create some form. In another Shruti, I think so, how we will start, like in Brahma Sutra, it is there, Tad ananyatam arambhana shabdadibhyah. Starting from the space we have to do. So one sloka I have got, Prithivyapsu payo vanhau vanhir vayau navasyasau. Once again, you please note down it. Nowhere you will get that. It's a rare sloka. Prithivyapsu payo vanhau vanhir vayau navasyasau navascha avyakrite tat cha navascha avyakrite tat cha shuddhe shuddha asmi aham harihi shuddhe shuddha asmi aham harihi. So how you will merge everything else? Now you have to dissolve the earth in water. You have to dissolve water in fire. You have to dissolve fire in air. And you have to dissolve air in space. And that space, avyakrita, there where there is no modification, you have to dissolve it in Parameshwara, Supreme Brahma with Maya. Then you have to dissolve that conditioned Supreme Brahman, Mayopadhika Parameshwara, you have to dissolve in Maya Upahita Parameshwara, which is pure Brahman, Shuddha Brahma. Shuddha Brahma Parat Pararam, Kalatmaka Parameshwara Ram. Can you remember? Shesha Kalpa Shukhanindritaram. Then I just forgot right now. We will come. So, Shuddha Brahma, Parat Pararam. And how that come from Shuddha Brahma, that pure Brahman. Brahman took the help of Maya, then create the space, then from space air, then from air fire, from fire water, from water earth. So when at the time of meditation you will start dissolving, you have to start dissolving the whole world, including your body, into water, water to air, fire, fire to air, air to space, space to conditioned Brahma, then from conditioned Brahman to unconditioned pure Brahman. How we will do that? We got all the indicators in previous verses we have discussed. Clear? So, Nirmala Akashavat, clear. Now, little bit more intellectual jugglery and interesting discussion. So now, what is the name of that meditator? Now the meditator's name or your name, I can tell that now your name is Sudhihi. In previous sloka or in previous stage of this final stage, your name was Ananyadhihi. If you forget, please you will turn over to sloka number 38. Just previous sloka, can you remember that 38 sloka, what was there? It was Vivikta Desha Ashinaha Viragaha Vijitendriyaha Bhavayet Ekamatmanam Tam Anantam Ananyadhihi, with unswavering attention. And here your name is Sudhihi. Clear? So, this is the transformation in meditation. Meditation means shifting and transforming. So, meditate all the time, not 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. Meditate all the time. And what is Sudhihi? The one of good intellect. The one who is having good intellect. The one who has done thorough Vedanta Shravanam, listening to Vedanta thoroughly, meditated on it, Mananam means with the logic, proper logic, and accordingly contemplating. So, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji is talking about the process of owning up the knowledge. This is not Upanishad's knowledge. This is not the knowledge of the sages, or this is not the knowledge of your gurus only. It is your knowledge. You have to own up this knowledge. You have to live according to this knowledge. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji is trying to help us to own up this knowledge. That is why whatever the Brahma Lakshana, the indicators of Brahman, actually is my Lakshanam. This is the indicator of me, because Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Supreme Brahman. Liberation or moksha in the form of correction of thought, shifting the thought process. That from I am Divakar Chaitanya to I am Brahman. From I am Jiva, I am finite being, to I am infinite. So if in that thought process, if any opposite thought process comes in our mind, for that we need to practice meditation day and night, day and night, day and night. And with a calm mind, sitting in one place. And what will be our sadhana? Vedanta Sravanam, Vedanta Sravanam, Vedanta Sravanam. Listening to Vedanta, listening to Vedanta, listening to Vedanta. That is our only sadhana. And at the time of Sravanam, meditation, meditation, meditation. Mananam nididhyasanam, mananam nididhyasanam. So Sravanam, Mananam, nididhyasanam will go together. We have to short up or cut up the worldly transaction for period of time. In my transaction also, our knowledge should reflect. Either my eyes are opened or closed. What in Bhajagovindam we see? Yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavihinaha yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati 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 eva. Yogarata, let one who revels in yoga or one who revels in bhoga or enjoyment, worldly enjoyment. Sangarata, let one seek enjoyment in others' company, or sangavihina, let one who rebels in solitude away from the crowd. Yasya brahmani ramate chittam, for whom in Brahman the mind rebels, he always nandati 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 eva. He enjoys, enjoys, only he enjoys. That is why in the first of sadhana, you have to cut off the world. How? at least in a day, 2 times or 3 times, just switch off the mobile phone and try to believe the samsara you want to hold over it. What you think that without me, the whole world, how they will run, how my son will do, how my bahu, wives of son will conduct everything else, how nothing. Please try one day. I can bet you, without you, the world will move smoothly. Now, this is the time to think over, to ponder over that the world can't move without you, or you can't live without the world. I'm sure the second one. Think always that I have died. See, everything will go smoothly. Meditate, meditate, meditate upon these things. So the thing is, I think I could make you understand. For a spiritual aspirant, solitude is more preferable. Like when we start learning the driving, on the first day, our teacher wants that we should drive in a very calm and quiet road where there is nobody is walking, or in the field or in the ground, at least to know how to operate the gear, when to brake, how to push the clutch and accelerator. Then anyone is expert, then anytime. So in this sloka, where what we saw, Sudhi ekam atmanam sada bhavai nirmalam akashava. And sada means without any gap. Sada bhavai. You have to think without any gap. 24.7, 24/7 meditation. And Sudhi means the one who has done enough Shastra Sravanam. So there is a reflect of great sentences, Mahavakya. And the person has no doubt and correct in understanding. But why that contemplation or meditation is needed? Because we have some habitual erroneous notion about ourselves. That is why after knowing everything else, we get angry. We have some jealousy. We have some ego bubbling up inside. For that, we have to think that I am the seer of my anger. I am the seer of my hunger. I am the seer of my doubt. I am the seer of my anxiety. Okay. So, the thing is, so the thing, we have some habitual erroneous notion. So what we have to shift? We have to shift from Tvampada Vachyartha to Tvampada Lakshyartha. The direct meaning of thou to implied meaning of thou. That thou art, Tattvamasi. We have to shift our thought process from direct meaning of that to implied meaning of that. And in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is told as Vijnanam, means aparoksha jnanam. Atmani eva akhilam drishyam pravilapya. Akhilam drishyam, the whole entire world should be dissolved. Pravilapya. In Atma. Means he will dissolve the whole drishyam jagat, perceived world in Atma, including himself. And drishyam means experienced and experiencer. Experienced objects and experiencer. But from the standpoint of Atma. Because ahamkara is also drishyam. So nididhyasanam has two steps. In this text, 16th number sloka you know. Verse number 16. Can you remember? Vapustushadibhihi koshairi yuktam yuktyav ghatataha atmanam antaram shuddham vivichya tandulam yatha. What was the translation of that? Through discriminating or discriminative self-analysis and logical thinking, one should separate the pure self within from the seeds as one separates the rice grain from the husk, bran, and so on, that that are covering it. So the rice grain is covered by husk, bran, and everything else. What we do, we just thrash it and separate it. In the same way, our meditation will be. What was the two word we got? Vivichya, should separate. Vivichya tandulam jatha. And here we are getting pravilapya. So, two things we got here. First is anatma vivichyat, separating two things. And second one is pravilapya. You have to dissolve everything else in atma. That is the Mool Vedanta Sadhana Abhyasa. That is the main practice you have to do in meditation. When we will do separation, Vivichya, then we will follow Yoga Darshana. Yoga philosophy. But when Pravilapya, when you will understand that Atma has no, Anatma has Anatma, not Atma. Anatma has no independent existence. First, you have to separate rope and the snake. Can you understand the example? Rope snake example of our famous example of our Vedanta. So first we have to separate a rope and snake. Then we have to start analysis. Then we have to come to the conclusion that there is no such thing called snake, only rope. Snake is just an erroneous notion. So first we see plurality. The world, me, mobile phone, house, husband, wife, sons, daughters, so many things, friends. Then vivicya start separating. Means bhakti darshana, means duality. I am and the whole world. And that world is nothing but the God alone, the expression of God. I am the part of that God. I am the servant of that God. So me and God are separate. So from plurality to duality. Then pravilapya means advaita, the non-dual. These are the real technicalities. Drishyam pravilapya means where all the perceived world will go, where the drishyam will go, in drashta, in the ultimate seer. Suppose you are standing in front of the mirror and you are combing your hair, hairliner, lipstick, everything else, and looking here, there, how beautiful you look like. Suppose anyone without anything else just broke the mirror. Where the reflection goes? The reflection goes or dissolve into the main source. So here drashta means the ultimate seer, not the experiencer. Because in 26th sloka of this book, it was, can you remember? Atmano vikriya nasti buddhir bodho najatviti jiva sarvamalam jnatva jnata drashta iti muhyati. There drashta means the seer, experiencer. But here drashta means the ultimate seer, the illuminator, the Atma. In Upadesha Shahasri, that things are discussed, and in Bhagavatam also that steps are there. So, dissolution of anatma in atma means moving from effect to cause, dissolving pot in clay means there is no pot. You have to do nothing physically. This physical destruction we are not asking. It is a clear intellectual understanding. It is a clear intellectual understanding. No physical destruction is needed, only understanding. So my thinking should be sharp. That is pravilapya. That I can see the cause by seeing the effect only. And I can negate all the names and forms. Because if I am attached very much with a particular name and form, then it's very difficult to dissolve. If I am very much attached with my this whole body, physical body, it is then also very difficult to dissolve. Then dispassion is needed. Dispassion is needed to negate the false attachment. then we have to see that whom I am seeing or what I am seeing, that is nothing but the Panchikrita Pancha Mahabhuta. Panchikrita Pancha Mahabhuta is nothing but tamasa part of Apanchikrita Pancha Mahabhuta. Five great elements. Mixing up the five. So whenever we will see anything else, we should see that this is nothing but the mixture, blending of five great elements. And how that five great elements, physical five great elements, came from unblended five great elements, apanchikrita pancha mahabhuta. And how? I told you the sloka first, that very wonderful sloka, that from earth to water, water to fire, fire to air, air to space, space to Maya, Maya to Brahman. That will be your thought process. Okay, that will be your thought process. Whatever comes in my mind at the time of meditation, whatever, we should discriminate and dissolve in this order. From immediate cause to ultimate cause, we have to dissolve. And that is complete sadhana. First one is step by step dissolution. And who is knowledgeable, who is wise, who is jnani, the realized soul, he directly dissolves. God with a mask of Maya appears as world. Spiritual practice or contemplation means removing that mask. Then only we can see only God. Then only we can see only God. Okay. So this verse explains the thing. Intelligent discrimination is the secret of seekers' success in discovering truth. When he has realized the supremacy of the self, does the outer world exist for him? If not, why is it so? How does it happen? The pure intellect, in its light of discrimination, has brought forth the experience of truth for the seeker. In the light of discrimination, if we analyze and withdraw ourselves completely from the matter envelopments, we should thereafter have no more occasions to mourn over the past, agitate the present, or worry of the future. There can be no wrong perceptions anymore of the truth for us. When one crosses over the frontiers of the dream experiences, the entire dream world merges into one's own mind, and the same dreamer now rediscovers himself to be the waker. The entire waking world merges back into the pure awareness from which it had arisen. Now all that remains is the pure non-dual self. Just as the dream world has gone back and merged into the very waking mind that dreamt the dream, so too the waking world of perceptions ends in the experience of Atma, the illuminator of all finite experiences. Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat.